Look, it's the turbo truck. Or it was the turbo truck. It's a little different now. Current tabs? Insanity. Say hi, Allan.
Hi, Allan.
In the first video on this brown 1977 Dodge D100, I paid $500 for it, dragged it home, and immediately slapped my homebrew Slant 6 turbo kit removed from my 63 Valiant onto this 225. And it worked. Kinda. It needed some tuning, but still. However, not long after the filming of the first video, there was an issue. This transmission randomly stopped transmissioning correctly. We're looking down through the hole where the dipstick tube ought to be now, and I don't know if you could see that, but it's kind of horrible, creamy strawberry milkshake stuff. What was pouring out of the back of this thing when it was removed was way more pink than that. So we had a Turbo Slant 6 truck dead in the water. And of course, Allan and I learned this the hard way on a day that we had to rearrange every single vehicle in the fleet. After that, I was totally done with it. Despite the fact that the truck was totally dead and desperately in need of some attention, Allan seemed super excited about it. So I gave it to him. So in today's video, we're gonna watch as Allan rips the Slant 6 and blown up transmission out of this truck, makes many small improvements along the way, and swaps a fresh, exciting drivetrain into it. I'm sure everything will go great with that.
Hello, this is Allan. This is Dead Dodge Garage. And I got new project things going on that I kind of wanted to show you. I'm taking the 360 out of the van. I know you guys are going to just be thrilled about that. And I'm going to put it in. No, that already has a 360. No, that already has a 360 and it's raining and my window's down. Nice. Anyways, it's going here in the tin grill turbo. All that's coming out. Love the truck though. Can't wait to clean it up and get it on the road. Well, we're making progress here. I got the carb and the intake off there. I got all the hat and air cleaner. So, all I gotta do is lift out that extremely awkward looking turbo. Oh, wait, I gotta take off that too. I'm curious to see if that is why this thing was knocking. I think that goes in too far and might smack a rod. Or a crank, I mean. I would say that is our knock. I'd almost guarantee it. Look at that wetness mark. I bet you anything that was the quote-unquote knock in this motor. This is where we're at. We got everything out to go back for the Turbo Man, because I'm not having one of those. Let's see. I think everything up here is done. Now all I got to do is unhook the starter, linkage. I think I'll take the lines off. Not much to go. I should have this one out today. I started at 6 o'clock this morning and it is 10:30 now, so I'm a little tired. I'm gonna stop for lunch. See if I can get a good look at it. This is the oil out of the turb ski. It looked kind of mucky. Might be a head gasket issue in this boy. Maybe. Well, that was fun. We are ready to receive. Don't mind the mess. I'm gonna clean it up. Gee, many Christmas. That is some strawberry milkshake. So the van had some pretty nice stuff. Aluminum radiator looks like it's gonna work. Why does everything have to leak? I dumped all the antifreeze out of there. I tilted it so the transmission wouldn't leak. I got another mess to clean up. I did not get that on video, but it was not easy. It is not easy to find a level spot around here. So this is gonna have to do, I guess. It's not a bad van. Somebody could probably talk me out of it real cheap. Not with my wheels though. Okay, we're getting close in here. See what it looks like. Wow, that is clean. Cannot believe how clean that is in there. I don't think that's gonna happen without a pry bar. I always forget something. Take a little look-see in there. A bit of rust on that cam, maybe. We're almost ready to come out, and I'm done for the day. All the donations from the van, and the truck is ready, and the Slant 6 that is good, and the turbo that is good. Safekeeping. I think there's a Turbo Valiant that might need something like this. Hello, kitty. What a mess. What a mess. If anybody ever tells you, hey, do a van motor, don't do a van motor. Van motors suck. That was terrible. But we're out, and I'm happy. It looks pretty good, but we'll see what Jamie thinks.
If you want to know what I found in this engine, feel free to check out a video called Truck Bed Teardown from about a month ago when we disassembled this 360 from the van in the bed of Allan's Dakota RT. The prognosis was not great, but it was certainly better than this one.
I'm not usually the rant guy, and yes, there's fans going behind me because it was so friggin' hot today. This stuff is, you know, it's nice to do dyno matting or whatever, but come on. This stuff is disgusting. It just needs a piece of plastic over there. It just sticks all over the door. I mean, don't do this. We'll get it off there, and then we'll get to what we put the thing open for, and that's this window. These windows are notorious for being very, very difficult to put up and down. These ones were actually frozen when I got the truck, excuse me. All of these joints, everything in here needs greased. This is just caliper grease, dielectric compound. It's just grease. The way I'm doing it is just putting a little bit of that grease on the paintbrush, and then I'll brush it in just like you would pack a bearing. I grease the gears, I grease the tracks where the window goes up and down. Okay, I greased everything in there. Now comes the Al's It Ain't a Mystery at All. It's just ATF and acetone, and I drench all of this stuff with it. It makes a real mess. But I get the door locks, I get all of the gear, I get these, even though I put grease on them, just to make sure everything gets soaked. And this is mostly acetone, but I try to fill it with oil every time I use it, and then eventually it'll make that window start loosening up. I'll let it sit on there for just a second. And now, instead of having a window that's junk, you got one that's free, ready to move. I'm gonna have to do that to the ramp truck because I can't even use the window in that truck. Maintenance makes it work. Forcing it does not. Old cars, I guess that's the main thing you can do is maintenance. One more tech tip, these clips. You can see how those tips are together. That's what it's supposed to look like. If they're missing, they're definitely not doing their job. That's where your rattles come from. It's not because your door needs Dynamat in it. And if you do put Dynamat, that's a good idea. But they usually put it on the outside, where Mopar put the exact same thing. One of the biggest reasons for rattles are these clips, which are available at most of your parts stores. No big deal. What in the hell, excuse my language, is the speaker wire menage here? And the buses on chunks of wood? I gotta throw all this away. It's gotta be stock. I just can't stand it being like this. I shine back in the radio. Got a nice sticker for my phone. This dash is terrible. The speedometer cable doesn't reach. I think I'm gonna be seeing if Tom's got some stock wiring and maybe a stock dash cluster that, you know, works. Definitely think it deserves it. Look at this dash. I've never seen one that actually had a dash in it. It's really nice all the way. Filled in where the filler neck lid was. I just can't do a gas tank in the cab. So we deleted it, desecrated the old Dodge. But look at how much more room there is in the seat. Sits way further back, way better. Watch this. Oh, that sounded good. Just perfect door. I adjusted it. It's got perfect line on that side, a near perfect line on this side. Perfect. So change of plans. We are going with a 1974 318. My buddy Frankie was nice enough to bring it all the way down here. And I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna stuff it in. I talked to my buddy and he said it was running, driving. I think I'm gonna use everything, and it's got the bulkhead connector. So I got all the V8 wiring, the ignition, everything. I'm gonna be on a mad dash to get this done. It's Sunday and I want it to run today. So we'll see how that goes. I also have to get that from there over to here, and this is quite the hill. Nobody wants to dent the tin grill. This is going to be the most epic crash if it comes down. Getting hot. Time to get rid of these coveralls. Okay, I think everything's wired except for that mess, and we do have a radiator. Let's see if we can show that. Yeah, we're getting close. Got belts. Got to do something with the ignition wires. They're kind of everywhere. Vacuum for the brake booster, exhaust, heater hoses, radiator hoses. We're gonna be there real soon. We might even hear this thing fire up today. I heard just the other day, watching a video on YouTube, that these plastic tanks tend to crack. I think I need a gas tank, man. And I took the one out of the cab that was perfectly good, but I just can't stand that cab fume. But I hooked up a Jamie can. Let's see if it'll pick up some fuel. Up a little bit more. That sounds good. And it's a BBD, but it's not There's a Dodge truck. Oh, tagged in the absolute right position. Evidently, I found a patch panel for this today. This is all messed up because somebody tried to take a locking gas cap off, so the lip's all messed up. So I got a new one of those from Jamie today. Working on the gas tank. And right up in here, these are the worst long-winded bolts I have ever seen in my life. And there's 3 of them. So I got a little PB blaster on there and I'm taking my time. It's definitely been leaking there for a while, so good thing Jamie had one. I finally got these bolts loose, so I'm ready to drop the tank. I'm not going to show that because there's probably going to be language. See that hole above it? It's made for the bed to be off, which is how the one at Jamie's is.
All right, run away. Again. Nice. Oh, I love everything about that. Still got all your digits. Nice. Yes.
That one will be easy. This one, not so much. I think I found another crack in this tank around the filler neck. This sending unit here looks newer, plastic float, and man, I can't even see light through that. Oh yeah, that one's got a little liquid in it. It'll get a brass float, it'll get a new sock, and we'll put it in. Hopefully we'll have that running today. I got the tank in. It runs. Used to run. That is ballast resistor. Okay, ballast resistor's bad, evidently. Runs until you shut off the key, or turn the key off of start, I should say. Okay, well, we'll deal with that here in a second.
And that brings us to today. Now I want to go over the truck and show you all the different stuff that has happened because it's a lot, and I feel like the footage Allan got doesn't quite capture the insane amount of stuff that has happened here. And then we're going to talk about a frankly hilarious problem that it's got now. Oh, by the way, it's the 4th of July, so if you hear explosions in the background, don't worry about that. Anyway, the initial plan for the D100 was to use essentially the entire drivetrain out of that 1978 Dodge van. In an Engine Wednesday video a couple weeks ago, we tore down the 360 from that van and found just what was making all the horrible knocky sounds inside. Unfortunately, we weren't able to booger this thing back together soon enough to make the truck run, and that's where the 318 under the hood comes into play. As Allan explained, this is a 1974 318. It was given to him by a friend and dropped off by another friend in the back of a truck that looked and sounded exactly like the 3rd gen I just got rid of, but totally wasn't. As you heard, this engine runs pretty darn well. It's doing that with essentially all of the stuff that came on it. The ignition box, the wiring, the distributor, everything. It does have the shiny new plug wires from the van, and it has the original power steering pump that was on the 6-cylinder using the V8 brackets. Note, the engine mount brackets that put this thing right in this truck are the brackets that were on the engine already. That is such a nice feature of the trucks compared to, say, A-body cars. You can just plug whichever engine in here you want. The van radiator fit right in. Outstanding. He's also just done a lot with the truck itself, though. I mean, for one thing, this truck used to have a crappy canopy on it, and that's gone. The fuel tank and filler neck, of course. These are parts from the black 78 W100 I've been parting out for some time now. That truck has been the gift that keeps on giving. The nose is actually attached to the truck. There's bodywork in progress. There's a grille, which looks 1,000 times better than it did when we picked it up. A front bumper, a grille filler piece. The hood is attached correctly and everything's nicely greased. It's awesome. Nice. I wasn't necessarily all in on the suicide tank delete. Who doesn't like huffing gas fumes as you're going down the road in your old truck? But one must admit, the amount of space that adds to the interior is incredible. I can hardly even reach the pedals in this seat position. The dash is out. This is a great time to remember I was supposed to look for one at Tom's yesterday. He detailed all the work on the doors. I have owned tons of these tin grills. The latches and the window cranks are never this good. Ah, and of course it smells like Bigfoot in here. Oh, You know, it's so weird this hood doesn't want to latch. I wonder if it has something to do with somebody parking an engine on this core support.
Prying.
That too, yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, there you go. When you're trying to run your Dodge truck or any classic Mopar really with the gauge cluster out, you gotta bypass the ammeter. You gotta plug these two wires together. Nut in a bolt like this works. Make sure that doesn't touch ground. A little bit of electrical tape is always a good idea. Anyway, as you can see, an incredible amount of stuff has happened here, and there's plenty left to do, but I, for one, am very impressed. What we have not explained to this point is there's still a big problem with this truck, and it's almost exactly the same problem as it had with the Slant 6. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, the idle circuits might need some work. Just BBG things. This is the transmission that came with the 318, and supposedly that truck ran and drove. You've already seen it do burnouts in this video. It'll go into gear, no problem. But watch what happens when it goes into reverse. Or more, what doesn't happen. It doesn't move. This thing has no reverse at all. Why? We know the shifter's right. It fired right up in park. It holds it on this hill, but reverse is just dead. Totally, totally dead. Why does this truck hate transmissions? And idling? Now, checking the fluid level in your torque flight would be the first thing to do if reverse isn't reversing. In this case, it's not only full, it's overfull with nice shiny new fluid, and reverse is just not at the party at all. If I remember the way this works correctly, I think reverse uses the highest hydraulic pressure of any of the gears, and so if you're low on fluid and the fluid's partially aerated, that is the first thing to not work. However, it'll also typically delay going into forward gears, and this thing is not doing that at all. There's no slippage. Now, because it's a Chrysler product, we've got some leaks. The thermostat housing leaks because, of course, it does. The water pump is failing. It's still pretty tight, but there's fluid dripping out the bottom. Yeah, there you go. There's kind of some oil here. I wouldn't worry about that necessarily. Anyway, the point is, this was kind of a proof of concept deal. The concept has now been proofed, but at this point, Allan is going to take this drivetrain back out, swap the transmission for the van transmission, and give this engine a reseal and freshening all at the same time. We're not talking an overhaul or anything. This thing runs fantastic, as you can hear, except for the fact that it no longer idles. It doesn't smoke. It doesn't make horrible noises. This is a solid 318. Of course, using this van transmission was the original plan anyway. It was supposed to be behind a 360, but it'll go behind a 318 just fine. All we had to do to make that work, remove these balance weights. Because, of course, the 360 is external balance, while a 318 is not. So that's where we're at. We've got a straight-piped, two-tone brown, mostly, 77 D100 that does run and make awesome straight-pipe V8 noises. It's coming together, but it's missing some very important things, most notably reverse, which is rather inconvenient. Fast forward us to pushing it backwards in a minute here. Oh, also, this is the farthest it's driven so far. Hey, you should fix this mirror. Wee, wee, wee. Oh, I guess that works.
Definitely does not want to idle.
No.
Carb rebuild, a few other things.
Yeah. It's not allowed.
There we go. I was going to say it didn't
Nice.
shift gears.
Oh, that's second. We're good. How many more gears do you need?
I like those low ones.
Nice. Oh. Still makes some belt noise. Whee! like it. Oh, there's dust in my eye. Idle's fixed. Yep, nice.
It's actually too high because I turned it up earlier.
Yes. In case you're curious, I think it's some of this that's in my eye now. Well, I don't know about you, but I am amazed. Sure, it all needs to come apart again for various reasons, but Allan accomplished all of this in like 4 days. I'm confident that everything wrong with this right now is going to be fixed in pretty short order. And I have it on good authority that this thing is going to get some fresh paint of one kind or another. You know, we would have rocked the patina look, but unfortunately there's a bunch of horrible bodywork stuff under here and the original paint's just gone, so that's not really an option. Oh, don't forget to go to deaddodgegarage.com and click the button that says merch to buy your own Scrap Pack Club stickers. These are essential equipment. Well, I think that's just going to have to do it for now on the no longer turbo truck. Tune in next time when all of those things I just said will probably happen. Until then, as ever, thank you very much for watching. And remember, tin grill is best grill. Oh yes, and look forward to this 225 coming to a Turbo Valiant near you.